Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. And I mean, it's not really much going on in the market. We are getting a short-term pump right now. We are back above the 200-day moving average, but yeah, it's not much going on. And until we actually form a 5-wave move to the upside, we cannot confirm that the 4th wave move down is in. Like I said, we did get a reaction to the 200-day moving average for the 3rd time in a row. We reacted to it here, here, and here. So we'll see if we actually get a bigger bounce now or if we go down. If we do get a bigger bounce, we should still complete the 5th wave right here, and this 5th wave should get above the 3rd wave high, obviously, and I think this will most likely get at the 1st wave high right here at about $1.30, and that will be enough for a 5th wave. After we get this, I will actually be able to confirm that the 2nd wave right here is in and that we're heading in a 3rd wave of a 3rd wave. And I know I'm saying the word wave a lot of times, but I mean, it is what it is. And so far, it has worked out pretty well for me. So we'll see what happens next. And yeah, if we form 5 waves, like I said, we will most likely start the 3rd wave of the 3rd wave. And this should be completed by the end of May. Well, actually, the main 3rd wave should be completed by the end of May. I hope you already know why. If you don't, you should most likely watch my other videos. In this video, I actually want to talk about the long-term chart, and I want to give you a prediction. Well, I have given you my prediction many times before, but there are some new people on the channel, so I guess it's time to do it again. And yeah, let me go in the weekly chart for this. Like I said, Cardano is in pretty much the exact same structure as we were in the previous cycle. Here we had a 1-2-1-2 setup, and right now it's the exact same thing. We have a 1-2-1-2 setup, and we are even in an uptrend like we were up here. I mean, it's actually the exact same thing. Even here we were below the 0.618 support level, well, the resistance level of the previous all-time high, and right now we are still below it, and we got rejected by this level about 6 or 7 times now, and at some point we will obviously get above it, and once we get above it, I think this move right here will start, and I think it's only a matter of time until it does. Like I told you, from a 4-year cycle point of view, 4 years ago we were up here, right now we are down here. However, you have to consider that Bitcoin dominance is still going sideways right now, and it's still at 60%, actually over 60%, it's at 62% now, which means that the altcoin season has not happened yet, but when it does, something like this will still happen in my opinion. Now let's talk about what happened down here, because this is where I believe we are right now, and if we zoom in on this, and if we look at actually what happened after the cross in the bull market support band here, I have been talking about this for a long time now, but here we had a cross, and then the price just went sideways for like 8 weeks, and then we went above the bull market support band, and then we had another cross, and that was the beginning of the altcoin season, at least for Cardano. And right now we seem to be doing the exact same thing again. Of course, it's not the exact same pattern, but as you can see, we did not really get a big drop, and we did not really break below this low right here, or even this low right here after getting the cross, which is actually very bullish. Now, of course, that could still happen, and I don't know if it will happen or not, but I mean, so far, if we could continue going sideways, and if the price does absolutely nothing for like 2 more weeks or so, this pattern that we had down here will actually play out again, because this, like I said, took about 8 weeks, and I mean, so far, we have been going sideways since the beginning of February, and if we go 8 weeks into the future, that would put us at pretty much the end of March, and then after that, we could get another cross, and then the huge move to the upside that we've been expecting for quite some time now. And where could that put us? Well, that would be the 3rd wave target right here. It's the green zone, and it's between $2.98 and $4.25. Of course, we could overextend maybe to the 2.618 extension, which would most likely be at like $6, but the minimum target is the 200% extension right here, and it's exactly at the previous all-time high, almost. So I think there's going to be some resistance here, and this would be the perfect time for a 3rd wave high. But of course, if we get above this high, then the next target could be at about $4.25, and this needs to happen by the end of May. I hope you know why. and after that, during the summer, we will need a fourth wave move down, and this will happen in my opinion because it happened every single cycle. And like here, for example, we dropped 55% in the previous cycle. Of course, this is Bitcoin we are talking about, but when Bitcoin drops, the altcoins drop as well. So if Bitcoin gets like a 55% drop during the summer, this will affect the altcoin market in a very negative way. But then if we do something like this again, and by the way, this move to the upside, this pretty much double top on the chart, has happened 3 cycles in a row. If we repeat this exact pattern in this cycle, and if we go up until May, down during the summer, and then up again by the end of the year, this should put Bitcoin, in my opinion, at least $130,000 to $140,000 by the end of May of this year, and then we get a drop during the summer, and then that next top could put us at least $200,000. Is that going to happen or not? I don't know. I mean, my prediction for Bitcoin still remains at $255,000. Is that going to happen? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. And yeah, Cardano will most likely go down during the summer, which means that we should get in this region right here at least. Now, if we look at what happened in the previous cycle in the main third wave, in the previous cycle, the main third wave actually got above the 1.618 trend-based Fibonacci extension of the previous all-time high. And well, if something like this happens again, that could put the third wave right here above the 1.6 or 18 extension of the all-time high right here, and that is at $5.30. Is this going to happen again? I don't know, but if we are following this exact same pattern, the third wave could theoretically get to above $5. And you have to keep in mind, some altcoins will only get a third wave move, and Cardano could be one of them. And maybe after we get the third wave move up right here, if we get the third wave move up, we get the fourth wave move down after that, and then we try going up in a fifth wave, only to put in a lower high and then go into the bear market. So I don't know if we will actually manage to form 5 waves up, but we kind of need to form 5 waves up, because if you zoom out and if you go on the monthly chart, in the previous cycle we actually formed a much bigger 1-2 setup here. The first wave has 5 waves and the bear market was an ABC, and yeah, right now we are working on a third wave move. Of course, this third wave move to the upside will take years to be completed, and in this cycle we will only focus on the first wave of that main third wave move, which means that we need to form 5 waves up for this first wave to be completed, and then the bear market will be a big ABC structure followed by the third wave of the third wave, which could be insane, but that's most likely going to happen next cycle if we actually form 5 waves up in this cycle. And I think Cardano can still get to above, let's say, $5 to $8 by the end of this year. I think it's still possible. Now, we have to also be aware of the possibility of Cardano topping in January of 2026, because it actually happened like 7 years ago in January of 2018. So here we got a top and then Cardano went down. Of course, we don't really know what would have happened before this, because Cardano was not around for the 2017 cycle. It was actually launched at the end of it. But if you look at the Ethereum chart, Ethereum also topped in January of 2018, so it's a possibility that something like this happens again, and the altcoin season, the real altcoin season, actually starts at the end of the year. Now, I still think the altcoins will get a big move to the upside soon, because Bitcoin dominance kind of has to drop right now, but I mean, if the altcoins somehow do not get to all-time highs by the end of May, and then we get some kind of drop, the real altcoin season could theoretically start at the end of this year, rather than right now. Of course, in the previous cycle, the altcoin season pretty much ended in May, because, I mean, here, for example, yes, Cardano formed another high, but some altcoins did not, and I mean, you have to be aware of that as well. The whole altcoin season pretty much lasted like 2 months, so please be aware of that. When it starts, you're not going to have too much time to sell, because once Bitcoin dominance starts doing this, I mean, as you can see here, it drops quite a lot and it drops very fast. So of course, during this time, people will start buying again, because I mean, that's what idiots do. They only buy when the altcoins go up instead of when they go down, and then when they go down, they blame me for their bad purchases. But anyways, I digress. And yeah, Bitcoin dominance will most likely drop very soon, and I think it could drop by the end of this month if we actually start QE, but you have to keep in mind in the 2017 cycle we did not need QE for the altcoin season to start, so I think Bitcoin dominance will start breaking down no matter what, and yeah, that does not really matter. And yeah, Cardano is still looking very good. Like I said, it's the exact same structure as down here, and we could be preparing for a big wave move to the upside. And I'm not saying that right now is a good time to buy, but if you look at the monthly chart actually reacted to the moving average on the RSI, and this is very bullish because this right here, this structure looks very similar to what we had here. And what do you know, it also happened when the price was at the exact same time of the structure that we were in right now, and actually that we are in right now. And I mean, is this a coincidence that we bounced right here just like we did down there? Well, maybe it is, but then again, maybe it's not, and maybe there are no coincidences in crypto. Maybe we are still following what we did here, but you know, Cardano is taking a bit longer to do what it did here. So right now we should get a bounce, and we should finally start the altcoin season by the end of March. If we don't, like I said, it's not going to be good, but I still have hope for that, and we'll see if it happens or not. And that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.